In the West and cultures around the world, women continue to take the last names of their husbands without really knowing where this tradition originates from. So the tradition of taking the husband's last name after marriage comes from a deeply patriarchal society where women would essentially become the husband's property after marriage. So husbands would have complete control over their wives legally, financially, and women wouldn't even have rights over their own children. Now, in Islam, women were given rights to ownership, inheritance, financial independence, individual sovereignty, all without marriage or ownership of a husband, and they were not considered as property. Today, many women around the world still practice the tradition of taking their husband's last name, but I find it interesting how many women don't know where this tradition originates from. And that includes myself. Up until 3 years ago, before I started studying Islam, I never really thought about it or knew where this tradition came from. And I find it so interesting and comical almost how Western women view Muslim women through like this lens of like they're victims and they're oppressed. Meanwhile, Muslim women in Islam were given rights almost 1,300 years before women in the West. So next time, before you view Muslim women as victims or oppressed, you should probably study the religion and learn about the rights.
Bismillah, let's get into it. Let's see what you're so curious about. 193. You men are not allowed to take back anything you gave to your wives unless both sides fear breaking the rules by Allah. All right, so 191 through 193. So I guess you're curious about probably 191, right? That's what most people try to tell us women, that if we come to Islam, we're going to be oppressed, right? That's what you're getting at? Bless your heart. Let's talk about it. Here's the tafsir. Here's the tafsir for verse 190. Remember that women have rights just as men do in all fairness, though men have been given an edge over them. Tafsir. The edge that this verse refers to is the fact that men are obligated to care for women and thus have more responsibility. This translates into a few seemingly inequitable things at first, such as men who receive twice inheritance of a woman. However, this seeming advantage actually rebounds back upon them, for men are responsible to spend of their money on their family, while women are not obligated to do so. Further, men must pay a dowry to their brides and also support their elderly parents and all other disadvantaged relatives. When Allah specifies that men have obligations, responsibilities, edges over women, it's not referencing our rights to humanity, to fairness, to life, to meaning that we are equal in all aspects of equality. It's talking about equity. In Islam, my husband would receive significant more inheritance than, let's say, if he had a sister. Why? Because my husband is responsible to take the money that he receives and give it to his family and make sure that he is providing for his family. He is obligated to Allah for that. Whatever money that the woman receives, that is her money. She does with it what she wants. She does not have to do anything for a man or anyone else. So yeah, men have been given an edge. That edge is responsibility. It's additional obligations. It's to be uplifting and upholding women. That's what that edge is. So no, you cannot twist my religion. You cannot twist the words of Al-Qur'an to make me fear my religion or feel less about who I am within my religion.
وصلت لحد هنا، أتمنى يا رب إنك تصلي على النبي في التعليقات أو تذكرنا حتى بكلمة طيبة. ديت لو أول مرة تشوفنا يا ريت تشرفنا بالاشتراك وتفعل زر الجرس عشان يوصلك كل جديد.